How I beat the mental game of sales after 7 years of failure. Let's get started. Through my years in sales, I struggled more than I'd like to admit. I was inconsistent, emotional, and constantly getting in my own way. But the moment I mastered the mental game, everything snapped into place. I went from a broke, stressed out sales rep to building Axelite, a $150 million company with over 250 agents producing at the highest level. And here's what shocked me. The second I learned how to control my state, my identity, and my emotions, I started progressing faster than I could ever keep up. Opportunities opened up, my skills skyrocketed, my confidence stopped breaking every time someone told me no. What I'm about to share with you is the same mental game you need to master to either turn your sales career around or to 10x it. And the same system I teach our top performers today at Axelite. So let's start with the mindset shift that changed everything for me. Build the unbreakable sales mindset. The mental game decides your income more than your scripts ever will. So stop tying your self-worth to your daily results. Sales is not going to go your way every single time. You need to understand that you're going to have bad days. You're going to have customers hanging up on you. You're going to have clients that had bad experience with your product or services. You're going to catch people at the wrong time and at the wrong place. So if you just allow your result to dictate your mood and dictate your self-worth, you're going to leave sales behind and you're going to quit on this career and you're going to settle for a job or something else that is not going to produce this high level income. So stop tying your self-worth to your daily results. You have to also separate from the outcome itself. See, the top producers, they're emotionally neutral. They understand how to manage their emotions. They understand that if you're losing a sale, you don't need to beat yourself down and say that you're not good enough. All of this affects your self-conception. If your self-conception is not healthy, you're gonna feel like the sales is not for you. I met so many different sales agents that constantly says, I tried that thing. I tried sales before. It didn't work. It's not for me. The truth is sales is for everyone. You just got to be able to learn how to deal with your emotions. You need to understand, just like in anything you do, there are going to be ups and downs and you got to remain neutral. That's when also rejection comes in. Rejection is not a personal attack on you. It is a data point, and that data point allows you to learn about how to deal with specific clients, how to deal with specific personalities, how to approach specific industry, or how to deal with specific clientele that you have never done business with before. So your approach needs to be that when I am getting rejected, I'm getting actually a lesson, I'm getting a data that's going to help me approach the same client later on with a better approach. Rejection is not going to be a personal attack. It's going to redirect you to a lesson, it's going to redirect you to a better approach, and it's going to help you adapt to a better sales process. Then you have to deal with mental toughness. You see, your mental toughness is a consistent behavior despite inconsistent outcomes. When things don't go your way, and I have seen it at the first hand, I would work with the client for 2-3 weeks. We would move the sale forward. I am calculating commission in my head. I'm thinking I'm going to get paid $20,000 for closing the deal. And next thing, the client calls you and says, hey, we changed our mind. We're no longer going to do business with your company. We found someone else. And you have a mental breakdown. You counted the commission that you didn't earn. You thought that you're going to close the deal. You thought that all the time and effort you put into this deal went to waste. The truth is that's not true. If you are actually mentally tough and you're able to control and neutralize your emotions, you're going to be able to understand that no doesn't mean no, no means not now. And I have seen these experiences myself where a client would change their mind after working with them for 3-4 weeks and they would say they'll go with someone else, and they did go with someone else, but months later they would call me because I would stay in contact with them. I would ask them, how is the new service working? How is their experience been with the new provider? And is their new agent they're working with have been as helpful as they promised them to be? And because I stayed in the game, because I stayed in the follow-up, the client would say, you know what, they're not happy with the service, they're not happy with the provider, and the sales agent wasn't as good as they promised to be, and they decided to cancel with them, and now they want to do business with me. And that is because I was mentally tough and emotionally regulated. And if you do that, you will also have success in your sales game. The main takeaway here from this lesson is that I want you to understand you don't win sales because you're confident. You win in sales because you are unshakable. No matter what happens, you stay grounded. You stay in control. Real quick, if you're finding this helpful so far, then hit that subscribe button. Number 2, control your state before you control of the sale. See, most salespeople lose the deal before the conversation even starts. If you're going through problems at home, if you're going through financial problems, if there's things happening outside of your sales cycle in your personal life, that means your emotional state affects your tone, certainty, and authority. You can't go into the sales call carrying all the baggage, all the problems, and all the issues that you're facing in your personal life. That is why you have to reset, and you have to understand that just like a movie actor who has a script and they have to play a specific role in that movie, that they have to walk into that identity and know that their lines and know that they have to show up in a specific manner. You have to do the same when you're a salesperson. No one cares what you're going through in your personal life. Your clients do not care. All they care about is how you show up on that sales call. And if you show up on that sales call negative, disappointed, low energy, low tonality, poor structure, you will lose sales, and someone else who's more prepared, who's more ready than you, who shows up with the proper attitude, will take that sale away from you. So one of the biggest things that I have done in my career is develop pre-call rituals. If things are not going my way, if I just lost 3-4 sales, if somebody just hung up on me, if somebody just called me a name on a sales call, I would have these pre-call rituals, which is going to reset my mindset. And those rituals could be as simple as maybe you're reading a specific quote that grounds you back in. Maybe it's the breathing exercise. You have to develop those pre-ritual calls to be able to bring yourself back in the proper state of mind. Remember, never enter a call reactive. You have to be intentional. You have to know that you're not walking into a call because you're trying to make a sale because rent's due. You got to get on a call with the intention that I'm here to help my client. I'm here to solve the problem. I'm here to make sure that I provide value to the client that I'm speaking to. It does not matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter what the commission looks like. What matters is that you give undivided attention to your client so that way they can feel valued and they know that your intention is not to serve you, but to serve them. Additionally, you have to also learn to detach yourself from the last call before starting the next. If you're still dwelling on a dead deal that you lost and you're carrying that anger, you're carrying that emotion, and you're constantly complaining, and you want to tell the whole world how you lost the deal, and you want to tell the whole world how things didn't go on your way the last call, and you're going to talk bad about the client and how they were not compliant with you, it's just a waste of time. Same energy you use to complain and hold on to the last call, you should use the same energy for the next call to be able to sit yourself with the appropriate attitude and walk into that call with the proper presence so that way you can execute. Remember, you can't lead someone to certainty if you can't control your own emotion and your own certainty level. Number 3, you have to stop fighting the fear. You have to use it. You have no idea how many times I've seen sales agents come to the sales floor and this is their time to pick up that phone, to make as many dials as they can, to reach as many clients as they possibly can, and instead of being excited about getting on the phone, they're afraid to pick it up. You have to understand the rejection you're going to face is inevitable. It's not going away. You could be the greatest salesperson. You could have closed 1,000 deals. It does not save you or protect you from facing rejection because the client does not know who you are. The client does not know your reputation. The client does not know how long have you been doing this. So therefore, they just know there's a voice on the other line and they will reject you unless you are able to handle rejection and be able to explain to them why it's worth for them to speak to you. So stop fighting the fear. You have to not be one of those people that puts their toe in the water and checks if it's cold, if it's the good temperature. You just got to jump and swim. And that's what's going to make you a great salesperson. I also see a lot of agents when they are picking up that phone, they're looking to get off the phone as soon as possible because they're afraid to have hard conversations. They're afraid to be able to stay on the phone for a long period of time because they're like, well, what if the client asks me a question that I don't know the answer to? Well, that's the point. The point is to be able to have so many repetitions, so many reps put out that you already seen every single objection. You have seen every single question, because if you never face those conversations, you'll never be able to learn from these conversations. So you have to learn to lean into the fear, lean into these moments of discomfort, because those are the moments that create power within you. Avoiding fear creates you to become weak, incompetent, and unconfident. One of the examples I can share with you is that I used to avoid asking hard questions because I didn't want to ruin the call. I used to be afraid to ask the client, well, how much do you pay? Could you please send me the bill? And because I would be afraid, what if they say, well, that's none of your business how much I pay? I was afraid of hearing a no. I was afraid of challenging the client or taking control of the conversation. So once I embraced the conflict, once I understood that, hey, my job is to be able to ask the question so that way I can be prepared better to help my client. When we go into a doctor's office and a doctor says, hey, put your pants down because I got a checker down there, the doctor is not afraid to ask that question because it's his job to make sure he's fully prepared and all the boxes are checked. So when your intention is appropriate, when your intention is good, then you shouldn't be afraid of asking the right questions or hard questions because you know the outcome is to help the client, is not to serve you. Number 4, very important, and it's one of the biggest things the sales agents forget to do, and that is to build emotional endurance. That is the real secret of top closers. See, the best closers don't have more talent, they have more emotional stamina. See, they understand most sales reps quit mentally long before they quit physically. And the idea of, as a sales agent where I don't make a lot of money, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay up late, I'm going to go out, I'm going to go clubbing, I'm going to spend my time in a happy hours, drink my life away. You're actually creating this disadvantage for yourself. Drinking all these energy drinks, feeding on caffeine nonstop, vaping, all of those things affect your emotional stability, reduce your stamina. So therefore, when you show up, you're already mentally weak because you're dependent on different vices. You're dependent on different things that are going to slow you down and is going to allow you to quit the game sooner than someone who's mentally strong and emotionally stable. So how do you build that mental endurance? Okay, and what is the mental endurance? Mental endurance is the ability to stay consistent through the dry spells. See, you show up no matter what. Snowing, raining, sunny, customers are nice, customers are rude, there's leads, no leads, systems down, the leads are weak, the leads are good. It doesn't matter. Your mindset is bulletproof and you show up giving 100% no matter what. And to do that, you need to be able to build routines to stabilize your psychology, which is you can't be going to sleep at 3 in the morning and then show up to work at 7 in the morning. You're not going to be your best self. So you have to have these routines to support the lifestyle. If you are not someone that has good habits and good routine in place, you're going to be easily triggered. You're going to be easily influenced to be emotionally weak, and you're going to start hanging up on the clients. You're going to start to get away from the hard conversations, and you're going to go away sooner than the guy that wants to win. And that's the problem with today when it comes down to sales. We have too many people looking for an easy sale rather than understanding sale is all about the process, and that process requires you to have mental stamina. Now, one of the things that really hurts mental stamina is the people that love to play the drama game. They stay in a gossip. And to me, one of the biggest things is proximity, right? What are you close to? Are you close to the negative people? Are you close to the gossip? Are you close to the drama? Are you close to the low performers? Because if you're around that environment is going to eat you up. That environment is going to create a weaker version of you that's not going to be able to really have any breakthrough. So that's why as a sales agent, your job is to hang out with winners. Your job is to be able to spend time with people that don't talk about people, but talk about opportunities, talk about ideas, talk about training, talk about growth, because that's what's going to feed your mind and is going to help you become stronger, not weaker. Number 5, turn mental mastery into performance mastery. Once your mind is under control, your skill will multiply. So if your mindset is strong, it will allow you to perform. As you perform, the better you perform, the higher the income you will make. Obviously, it's very straightforward. We understand that better you perform, the better the income will be. But one of the biggest things people really don't associate performance with is the mindset. So you got to make sure that you are understanding and in alignment with what do I need to do consistently that will support my mindset. You'll notice that if your mindset is strong, that your tonality improves, the way you walk improves, the way you talk improves, your certainty rises. When you present the product or your service, you present it with more conviction. You overcome objections with a calm authority. You're not faced with the rejection. You're not afraid of walking into a sales call and having a client ask you any question that you may not have been prepared for. Even if you don't know the answer, at the end of the day, what the client's going to do is going to ask you that question and you're going to say, John, I completely understand where you're coming from. That is a great question. You're actually teaching me something here today. I want to go ahead and get the answer for you. Give me 24 hours, give me 48 hours. I want to do my research. I want to make sure that I talk to my engineer. I want to talk to my product development team, and I'm going to make sure that I can answer that question for you. The way you answer that, even if you don't know the answer, you answer with confidence because you understand that your mindset is strong and nothing can phase you. So remember this, when you dominate the mental game, the skill game becomes easy. If this video helped you today, even one shift in how you think about sales, then don't stop here, because mastering sales isn't about learning one trick or one mindset. It's about upgrading who you are every single week, one insight at a time. And that is exactly what I'm dropping here: sales mindset and performance mastery tips. So if you're serious about winning and you're tired of letting fear, doubt, and inconsistency run your career, then hit that subscribe button right now and don't click off yet, because the next video you'll see on your screen goes even deeper into leveling up your sales and your mindset. Click it, your future self will thank you. I'll see you there.